Welcome. My name is Mr. Brian McLogan. I show math videos online, and somebody sent me in a question, and I just kind of wanted to talk about it a little bit. They said, do you collect your homework and mark it in on time? And I just started thinking about that. I was like, no, I don't. And they kind of responded, Matt, how are you going to be able to motivate your students? How are you going to be able to push them if you're not expecting them to have their homework done with them every day and on time, ready for class? And I completely agreed. A lot of students are unprepared for class, and they're not going to be able to move on if they don't have their homework turned in. But I responded back in a little bit different way, and I started thinking about, because I've been a teacher for a couple of years, and through my education, I was pretty much led with the carrot on the stick. And you have your homework, you get it turned in, and if you don't get it in, then you're going to get punished. And that was your primary motivation. And I thought about, from when I was a student to where I am now, following that mode of always having the carrot in front, and that's what you have to do, that's what you have to do, or you just get punished, that only gets you so far. But when it came into my education, and where I had to actually now turn around and actually start to teach a bunch of kids, it came to me that motivation doesn't stick, first of all, with kids for the rest of their life, and second of all, it doesn't work with every single student. Yes, of course, you can take some honors kids, or even you can take some some standard kids, and you can always put them in front. Some of them are always going to be motivated by what you have in front of them. But there's a lot of kids that don't even care what that is. They have much bigger problems, much bigger issues, or much bigger curiosities that they're not concerned about whatever you want to put in front of them to make sure you get that homework in. And I started thinking about that by teaching, when I was teaching my classes. I've given away so many grades for students turning in their work on time, having lackluster knowledge of the information, but having that homework turned on time, either by just writing down some random examples, copying it as much as they could, or even spending hours and hours trying to understand that information. But it got to me that even though those students, they'll do all that work to produce a sheet of paper that's containing their homework ready for that next day, and in essence, by allowing them, by holding that carrot in front of the stick for saying, hey, you get your homework turned in, you put in that extra time, or you just cheat your way to get your reward, it lost really the value of what I was trying to accomplish with them doing their homework. And my case in point is that even though there's a lot of those students that did all that extra work, a lot of times they kind of lost the whole essence of why were they doing that. They either got burnt out, they didn't really understand why they're doing it, so it kind of lost motivation throughout the end of the year, or when somebody kind of removes that, they don't know what to do, and they're kind of lost. And I took a realization of this, and what I started doing was really allowing students to be able to turn in their work on a timely basis that really fits their mode of learning, because as a math student, I understood that it takes time for things to kind of gel and to understand. Now, to the counteracts of, I don't know that word, but to the people that are going to argue, you're not holding students to a higher enough standard. Well, it's not that I just allow students to turn in homework whenever they want to. I work with every single student, and I speak with them. I say, all right, you're working on this, and as long as students are making an incremental progress and they're working towards it, I look forward to them, they're having their work before they take their assessment. If they have that work completed before they take the assessment and they feel confident that they finally understood it, then they know why they're doing that homework. They're doing that homework for practice. And it's not giving them less homework and not giving them more. I give them the same amount, but I allow students to learn the information. If they have it ready and they tried a couple problems, but that wasn't it, they don't get credit. They, all right, work on it again. We'll go over some problems in class, and we'll go over it, and then you keep on working on it. If it's still not making sense, you can go and take a look at some videos online and then spend some more time with it. And what I've found out so far is, students take control, as kind of the cliche thing. Students do really take control of their learning. They take control of their homework. They understand that homework is not just a game that you turn it in, you get points, and yippity-doo-dah, you get a grade in the class. They understand that homework is a way for them to achieve the mastery of what they're trying to learn in the class and what I'm trying to approach them with. And I think when you put the ball in their court and you allow them to, hey, here's what I'm expecting you to accomplish by the time you take the assessment. Here it is. you go through all the information, you present them, and then you act really as a facilitator to help them achieve that you're going to see students are going to start taking initiative to get that homework done. I've seen students that have come in, I've given them homework, and they don't have it done the next day, and automatically, first time I did this, I said, oh, great. Here we go. Students are now going to get lazy, right? They're going to think, oh, I can just wait to the end and turn it in. But I found out as I kept on pressing with the students, kept on talking with them every single day, do you have that homework in? Do you have questions about that? Students reluctantly kept on working at it, and they did. They did spread out the time. They did break down their homework. And they eventually get this homework turned in, and you could see that they took control of it. They knew when they had a mistake or when they didn't understand a problem, and they weren't afraid anymore to say, hey, you know what, I don't understand this problem. But before, when I gave out homework and a student didn't have a question on, or a student had a question on the problem, all they try to do is if they know, oh, I'm not going to get credit for it because if I have this one question blank, they quickly just write in that question by somebody else's paper, or they just write in some scribble close enough to try to get credit for it. And in essence, that might have been one of the most important questions of the whole homework assignment. That might have been something that's going to bring it all together, really make them understand all the other problems that they're doing. So this is just a little insight that I've had. I really wanted to have a conversation about it and, you know, just post it out there for future educators. And it's really been something that's really opened up my eyes as far as, you know, as working with education, because I think so much of what we do nowadays is trying to do this, you know, reform and innovation, and, you know, what is really going to be our next step. And I think it's the fact of taking students, getting them with the ball in their court, and then pushing them and driving them to achieve as much as they can, rather than just trying to set a bar and saying, hell, this is what you need to achieve, here's your little goal after that. But it's really giving them all their work, giving them their drive, or giving them what they need, and then pushing them and driving them to greatness. So I hope you enjoyed this chat. If you have any questions on it, or if you definitely like comments, please comment below. I always respect all comments, and I love to hear back from you. Thanks again. My video, YouTube, Mr. Brian McLogan on YouTube. I make a lot of videos for all the students. Thanks again. Bye.